Welcome to yoga practice. This is my name's Betsy, and I'm at the Wellness Center, and we're going to have practice that's sort of on the level of level 2 today. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to be here to work with you, and I'm grateful for the Wellness Center to making this happen, being possible. So, with respect to yourself, make sure that you modify anything that I suggest for your practice according to what you want out of the practice, what you're feeling today, how you're feeling. And it's my hope that this practice can give you some peace and calmness in this crazy, chaotic world that we're living in. So that's our goal, calmness and a little bit more flexibility, strength, and balance. So let's start on our backs. I'll start the music here. We're rolling onto your back, bending your knees. Bring your knees together and your feet sort out to the side. Place one hand on your sternum, on your breastbone, and the other hand on your belly. Closing your eyes, think about relaxing, letting tension go. As your breath brings energy to your body, as you expand to receive that breath, as you relax, letting that breath go out. While you're here, bring your attention to the practice and let go of other thoughts of previous activities or thoughts of those in the future. And be present, appreciating this time for all that you have and can be. Breathing in calmly and out. Now open your eyes, bring your arms out to the side to a T, and rotate your knees over to the right side for a twist, relaxing into that stretch, feeling that difference. And then knees come up and then over to the other side, stretching out. And back up over to the first side, stretching out. And back up, center and over to the other side. And then back to center. Bring your arms over your head and your legs out long, and make your body as long as possible. Stretch out. And this creates tension. This creates muscle contraction. And then relax down, exhale. And again, tense up, make your body long, strong as can be. And relax down. Now, with your hips on the mat, your shoulders on the mat, move both hands, keeping them on the ground, over to the right. And then move both feet, keeping them on the ground, over to the right side. So your body becomes a C shape. And the goal is to stretch the left side of the body. And find the breath here, stretching into it. And now move back to center, and hands and feet over to the left side. Keeping the shoulders and the hips on the mat. Breathing in, stretching out long. Reaching. And come back to center. Now bend the right knee, reach down and hold onto the knee or the shin. And pull that knee into the chest. While you're doing this, flex that left foot and keeping it active, reaching out. And releasing that, bring the right hand on top of the right knee. Place your left hand on the hip point, your left hip, and rotate your leg in a circle, big circle, all the way around. One direction. First, one direction. You're going to warm up the hip here, just giving it a chance to stretch out. And now reverse the direction, rotating in the other side. Reaching around. Big circle, all the way around. Reaching out. And come to stillness in the center. Straighten your leg up. You can support your leg behind the thigh, reaching that, flexing that foot, and then pointing it, and flex, and point, and flex, and point, flexing it, supporting the leg, bringing the leg out to the right side. Left hand is still on that hip point, drawing the hip down. Now while you're here, relax the glutes, the back of the hip. Relax those muscles. Allow that stretch to occur. It's hard to relax because you're stretching out and muscles contract in response. Just try bringing that up. And draw the leg back up. Bend the knee, the right knee, place the left hand on it, and draw the leg across the body, keeping both shoulders on the mat as much as possible. Reaching out. If you like and feel comfortable with it, straighten the right leg out, maybe moving your hand down the leg towards your toe. Here the hip, the right hip is being stretched out a lot. Reaching out. And we'll come out of that, back to the center, straighten the right leg out. Bring the left knee into the chest, pull in. Flex both feet, making it long. And straighten the left leg up, supporting it behind. Flex the foot and then point it. And flex it. And point it. Flex and point. Leg comes out to the side, right hand on top of the right hip point. Relax the glutes. Sink into that stretch as much as you can. And we'll draw the leg up, bend the knee. Place your right hand on that knee and draw it across your body, keeping the shoulders on the mat. Feel the stretch on the outside of the left hip this time. And straighten that leg out if you like, supporting it, stretching out. And we'll come back. Bring both feet up to the ceiling this time, both legs up to the top here. And now bring the legs out into a V. So keep your back on the mat, really long strap. From here, go into frog by bending your knees, bending over. If you like, bring your arms into cactus arms, into full frog position here. Then draw the knees and ankles together and straighten those legs up. And we'll go in reverse. Bend the knees. Shins are now parallel to the ground. Bring the knees and ankles out. Keep the back stable. Straighten the legs. And draw the legs up to the ceiling. Repeating that, we'll bring the legs out to a V. Bending the knees. Knees and ankles together. Straighten the legs up. And bend the knees. Knees and ankles out. Straighten the legs. And draw the ankles together. Now bending the knees, bring the soles of your feet together. Drop your feet down to the mat, and we're going to do Supta Baddha Konasana. So your feet are together, your knees are out to the side, and you're just stretching out here, just allowing that stretch to occur. Breathing in calmly here. And now draw the knees up, planting the feet on the mat. Your hands are on either side of the hips. Bring your hips up, pushing up into a gentle bridge. And roll your spine down to the mat. And raise your hips up again, all the way up. shoulders, back of your head, all the way up. And back down. Crossing your legs, roll forward, come up to a seated position. Comfortable cross-legged if that works for you. Here we are, just straight. Bring our hands down to the mat. Push against the mat and look up at the ceiling, opening the throat and chest, these energy centers, reaching out and straighten up. We'll lean over to the side here, reaching. Reach through that arm, reach long. Keep both sits bones on the mat. Rise up and over to the other side, reaching out, long. And up. Bring both arms up. Palms facing each other. We'll twist the right arm forward, or one arm forward, the other arm back. We're sort of right, left confused here. Left arm down, reach up through this arm. And up. Up we go. And now the other arm forward. Arm down, reach up. Back, reach up, hands together, and bring the hands to heart as you exhale. Deep breath in, and let that breath out. Other side, arms come up, reaching over, long side body, up, over, and up. Arms up, palms together. Now twisting one side, arm down and up, back, up we go, and other side, arm down and back. Hands come to the knees, pull down. Think about a tall spine here. We'll lean over towards one side and then forward around. Keep the hips on the mat, around. And over to the other side and around. Feels so good in the lower back here. And again, around. Around. And over. And around. Bring the one arm to the knee and reach around, twisting to the back. And back, and we'll go to the other side. Back and back to center, and walk your hands out. Keep the hips on the mat, roaching all the way over. Over, dropping the head. Feel the opening in the back. And walk the hands back. Bring the hands behind, a little bit away from the hips, and bring the hips up off the mat, opening the front body. And hips come back down. We're going to rock forward and come into tabletop. So your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. We'll start off with a straight spine. Pull the shoulders back, pull the belly button to the spine. And now flow into cat, arching up, exhaling, looking underneath, separating the shoulder blades. And flow into cow, dropping the belly, tailbone up. And back to that straight spine. Here we go. Reaching back. And up we go. And into cow. And back to the straight spine. We'll bring the right arm forward and the left leg back into bird dog. So the foot's flexed, the arms straight out, reaching long. Bring the hand underneath to the shin. Knee to nose, and stretch out long again. Arm and leg out to the side, and back, and we'll reach underneath towards the shin, crunching underneath, and back out, leg and arm out to the side, and back, right hand comes back to the mat. We'll take the left leg and knead it over to the right side in an arc. You're tracing an arc with your foot. Foot comes up and then over to the left side, touching the toe to the mat, then back up, over the other side, and back, and around, and up, and over, and back, and around, and straight back. Left toes turned under, push against the mat to stretch the back of that leg from the foot all the way up. Shifting forward, the right toes turned under, hips come up, we're into half down dog. Reaching out. Feel the stretch in the back of the Achilles tendon, especially back of the heel. Bringing your chest towards that knee. And we'll shift forward, bringing the right knee down and the left knee in. Other side. Well, first we'll do cat again. Arching up, exhaling. Flow into cow, belly down, tailbone back. Pull the shoulders back. And back to that neutral spine, and then up into cat. Flow into cow. And a neutral spine. Bring the left arm forward and the right leg back. Reaching out for a dog. Keep the core engaged here as you're going to reach underneath for the shin. Underneath, crunching the knee to nose. Then out long again, keeping your balance if possible. Leg and arm out to the side. And back. And crunch underneath again. And back out. Arm and leg out to the side. And back. And underneath. And back out. Left hand comes to the mat. We'll bring the leg over to the left side. Touch the mat. Then up on an arc over to the right side. Touching, and then over to the other side, and over to the right side, and up and over last time, and up, and back, turning the left toes, turn under, right toes turned under, come up into half down dog, reaching, pulling, shifting your weight back on those heels. And shift forward, drop the left knee down and bring the right knee in. We'll come back to child's pose. Your hips are drawn back towards your heels. Your arms are out in front. Forehead comes to the mat. Finding that breath. Expanding. Finding comfort in the calmness of this pose. Coming up through tabletop, turn the toes under, raise the hips. We're into downward facing dog. So, grip the mat with your fingers, especially your forefinger and your thumb. And let's walk the dog. One knee bent, the other leg straight. Up and down, stretching out, finding that. Reaching out. And come to stillness. We'll bring the right leg back into down dog split. So raising it, your foot's flexed, the toes are pointed down. We'll bring the knee underneath into a knee to nose. And as you do this, shift forward a little bit. Placing more weight on your hands than before. Then push back out, straightening that leg out. Now draw the right knee to the right arm, maybe to the triceps or the elbow. And up, back out. Now we'll raise the right hip and bend the right knee, opening the side body. Straightening it, dropping the right foot back down, back to downward facing dog. Left leg up into down dog split. Bring the knee to nose underneath, crunching. Push back out. Knee to elbow. And back out. Now raise the left hip and bend the knee, flexing that foot. And straighten. Drop the foot to the mat, drop the knees to the mat, and come back to child's pose to gain our breath. Catch your breath. Again, up and down. Coming forward, hands to the mat, tabletop, down dog, up we go. We'll bring the right leg up into down dog split. Then shift forward into a plank with your leg up in the air, one-legged plank. And then push back and drop that right leg down. We'll bring the left leg up into down dog split. And shift forward into one-legged plank. And back and down. Now shift forward to plank. You can always come to your knees if this is too much, or into a full plank. And we'll raise the right leg, then back into one-legged down dog. Drop the right foot down, shift forward to plank, raise the left leg up, come back into one-legged plank, and down. We're going to shift forward to plank, move your heels over to the right side, into a stretch. If you like, you can stay there, or you can come into a full side plank. And hands down, heels come up, over to the other side, full plank, or hang out there with both hands on the mat. And back down. Come into downward facing dog. Now we're going to do a modified side plank. So raise the right leg up, draw the right leg forward, turning the foot away, halfway between your arm and your foot. Rotate your left foot down and bring your right arm up to the ceiling. And reach forward with that arm, bringing the biceps to the ear. Your hips come up just a little bit. Then reach back, drop the hips down, inside of the leg touching. And rise up and forward. And back down. And up and forward. And back down. Bring the right hand back to the mat. Rotate your left foot and bring your right back to down dog. So now we're doing it on the other side. My back will be towards you. You bring your left leg up to the ceiling. Drive forward, planting it on the mat. Rotate the right heel down and the left arm comes up. Then reach forward and back down, dropping the hip. And up, forward, and back, and forward, and back. Left hand to the mat, ball of your right foot, left foot back. Now we'll walk forward, bringing your feet towards your hands, and we'll come into forward fold. Folding from the hips. Go ahead and hold on to the backs of your thighs this time, backs of your calves. Allow your head to dangle. Just being present here. Pulling the belly in. And now bend the knees pretty deeply and rise up. All the way up. Inhaling up. Bring the arms back around in a big circle. Reaching around. And up. Hands together. We'll come into Tadasana, mountain pose. Really strong here, so we get center here. Arms come up. We'll do Kali Mudra. So So your hands, your last 3 fingers are intertwined, your 4 fingers are together, arms come up, and we'll twist to one side, leaning over and up, and then over to the other side, leaning over, reaching up, then come into chair, reaching out long, reach up, and up, hands together, hands to heart, raise up on the balls of your feet. Releve up on those balls. Ankles can wobble all they want. Helps get them strong. Heels come down, raise your toes off the mat. And back. Other side, Kali Mudra, arms up. Lean over to the side. And up. And then over to the other side. And back. Bring the hands to heart. Up on the balls of your feet. And down, raise your toes off the mat. All right, down. Now, the next part we're going to do with a strap. If you have one, if you don't, we can modify it. Otherwise, my strap is just it's just a length of nylon webbing. So almost anything can work here for you. So we'll start grounded, feet are on the mat, really feel the connection between you and the mat. Bending your left knee just slightly, we'll put the strap under the right foot. If you don't have a strap, just draw your knee up, holding on to your shins here, or underneath your leg. Okay, now also, for these types of practices, a wall can be very useful in just getting you aligned and started. So never be afraid to just bring a wall into use. Bringing that knee up, bouncing on the left foot, straighten that leg out in front, finding that stability. Bend that knee, bring it out to the side, and straighten the leg out. Using a strap or supporting the leg with your hand underneath it. And bend it. Now we're going to twist around, bringing the strap behind you, reaching up. Maybe one or both hands are on that strap. And some of you can lean forward. I don't do it very well. Into the dancer pose. And rise up. And take a deep breath. Arms come up, reaching up, and we'll do a forward fold over. Touching the mat, taking that breath, bring your hands to the shins, flat back, and back down, and rise up. And now with your other side. So the strap's going to come under the left foot. Get grounded. Find your wall if you need it, if you want it. And bring the strap under the foot. Bringing the leg up. Find your focal point that's not moving to stare at. Bring that leg out in front. And bend it. Then knee out to the side. And straighten it. And bend it. Bring the knee down around the front. Swing around. Bringing the foot behind. Both hands on the strap if you can do it. If you want to do it, and then leaning over into dancer. A little bit of dancer. And releasing that. And drop the strap down to the side. We'll bring the arms coming up. Forward fold over. Reaching down. And hands to the shins, flat back. Back down. And this time into chair. So bend the knees, reach out long. Arms here. Reach forward, drop the hands back into ski jump. Then out forward and rise up. Forward fold over, touching the mat, touching the shins. Back down, we'll repeat that. Coming up into chair. long back here. Reach long. Reach forward now. Drop the chest to the thighs and the arms come back. And back out. And more. And forward fold over. Touching the mat, drop the head. Then the hands to the shins. And back down. Bend the knees, rise up. One more time, into chair. Reach out long. Drop the hips back. Reach forward, hands behind. Out, forward, and up. Forward, fold over, opening up. Finding that flow here. Hands to the shins. And back. And rise up. Do that Kali Mudra again. The last 3 fingers intertwined, 4 fingers together, thumbs crossed. Tailbone is tipped under your long here. And just arch back a little bit. Just a little bit. Come up, separate the hands. That forward fold over. Touching the mat, bend the knees enough to do that. Then hands to the shins, flat back. Back down to the mat. Place your hands on the mat. Step your feet back or jump back and we'll come into plank. Either drop your knees to the mat or come through chaturanga, lowering yourself down. Hands are underneath the shoulders. And we'll do a cobra. Elbows pulled in. Lengthen the spine. Your gaze is below your face. You're reaching up. And relaxing that. Push up to plank, either knee plank or full plank through chaturanga. Then back to downward facing dog. And jump or walk your feet to your hands, coming into forward fold. Rise up and exhale. We're going to add some back work now. Arms come up. Kali Mudra again. Arch back, maybe a little deeper this time. Come up, separate the hands, come into chair, make it energetic, and up, forward fold over, touching the mat, dropping the head, hands to the shins, flat back, hands down, bend the knees, step back or jump back to plank. This time lower all the way down to your stomach. Here we are. Now, we're going to plant your forehead on the mat. Bring your hands to either side of your hips, palms down. We'll go into locust. First we'll do half locust with the legs raised. Raising the legs, lengthening the legs. And then lower down. Then raise the upper body up. Keep your gaze directly below your face. Keep your neck aligned, straight with your spine. And down. Keep breathing. Legs come up off the mat. And down. And now upper body up off the mat. Pulling the arms back. Keeping the neck aligned. Down. And now clasp your hands around your tailbone. We'll go into full locust. Legs and upper body off the mat. Really long. And relax down. Turn your head to one side and take a deep breath in. And raise up again. Full locust. Up we go. And turn. Head to the other side. Deep breath. And releasing your hands, bring the hands under the shoulders. Push up to plank through your knees or chaturanga, and then back to down dog. Down dog. Okay, I'm going to flip sides here. Bring your right leg up into down dog split. Down. And we'll draw the right foot forward, coming into high lunge. Here we are in high lunge. Let's bring the arms to the thigh, the hands to the thigh. Pull down, open the chest, and then bring the arms up into crescent arms. Reaching out. Reach forward, hands come down to the mat again. We'll drop the left knee down, place the weight on the left hand and twist with the right hand up to the ceiling. And down with the right hand and up to the ceiling. And down. Come up to crescent arms again in low lunge. Now reach forward, bring the hands to the inside of the right foot. Kind of walk the right foot out a little bit. Give yourself a little more alignment. We'll do lizard by bending the elbows a little bit or a lot. Maybe some people can get it all the way down to the mat with the elbows. Go ahead and drop your head down, opening the back, opening it up. And look forward now, straight ahead. And now come back up onto your hands and walk your hands out into a V. So a little bit of weight. And we're on the left side now, watching out, reaching out, and your hips are sort of pushed back. Really opens the inside of the right leg here. And walk back. Hands on either side of the right foot. Left toes turned under and the knee comes up. Bring the right foot back. Look back to downward facing dog. I'll flip sides. So now the left leg comes up into down dog split. Draw the left foot forward. We're going to be into a high lunge here. Bring the hands to the thigh, and then arms come up, crescent arms, up we go. And down to the mat. Drop the right knee down to the mat, put the weight onto the right hand, and the left arm comes up, reaching up. And down, and left arm down, and right arm up. And back, arms come up, then reach forward inside of the left foot, walk the left foot out, lizard on this side, bending the elbows a little bit, a block under the elbows is often useful, here might work for you, either way. And remembering if you don't have blocks, lots of things can be substituted, like big books, pillows, balls. And come up and walk your hands out to the right side, stretching out the inside. And back we go. Walk in, walk the foot in, and right toes turned under, right knee is up. Step the left foot back into down dog. Walk or jump your feet to your hands, coming into forward fold. Bend the knees, rise up, inhaling up, and exhaling down. If you have two blocks, it'll be useful for the next sequence. We put them in the front of your mat here, where we can get to them really easily. Again, many things can be substituted. Bring the arms up, forward fold, over, forward fold, bring the hands to the mat, bend the knees, step the right foot back, we'll come into high lunge. So high lunge, hands are either side of the left foot and the knees are right over that. Reaching out, reaching out. Drop the right knee down to the mat, bring the arms up. We'll do a bring circle with the arms, back around, big opening up. Up we go, and now bring the left hand to the left thigh, reach to the right side, lengthening, and then twist. Elbow comes to the outside, palms together. You're really stretching out here. Rise up, inhaling up. Hands come back down to the mat, half monkeys. So straightening the front leg, drawing the hips back, flex the left foot, walk your hands back for support. Reaching over. And come forward, bending the left knee. Turn the right toes under and we'll come up into high lunge. This is where the blocks or useful for the next move, where we just straighten that front leg, leaning over. That brings the floor up a little bit closer to you, and then bend that front knee and back and down. Now, if your hands are stable on the block, okay. Otherwise, put your hands on the mat. We'll shift forward into forward fold split. Weights on the left foot, and hands are on the mat. You can use a block now as feet transition into half moon, raising the right hip. Weight comes on the left hand and the right hip up, right arm up into half moon. And arm comes down, drop the right foot down to the mat. Then the knees come up, rise up, inhaling and exhaling. Other side, arms come up, forward fold, over, hands to the mat. Step the left foot back. We'll come into high lunge on this side. High lunge, here we go. And go ahead and drop the left knee down to the mat. Bring the arms up in a big circle, opening up all the way around. And up, bring the right hand to the thigh, reach through the left side. Palms together, we'll twist over, reaching around. Arms come back up, reach forward, hands down to the mat. Shift the weight back, pulling the right hip back, flexing the right foot into half monkey. Here we are. Your blocks are at the front of the mat, that will help here. Coming forward, turn the left toes under, hands on the blocks, bring the hips up, straighten that front leg, leaning over, pulling shoulders back, pulling the hip back, and bend it, and back, and bend it, and back, and bend it back into high lunge. Bring the hands to the blocks or to the mat. Shift forward by either one move, stepping, raising the leg into forward fold split, or stepping your foot in. Weight comes on the right hand and maybe a block underneath there. Raise the left hip, leg the left arm up to the ceiling. And back we go, all the way down. Foot comes to the mat, bend the knees, rise up, inhaling up, and exhaling, hands to heart. Bring the arms up, we'll come into chair, reaching out, and up, hands together, back into chair, tailbone back. Bring the right heel up off the mat, and down, and the left heel up off the mat. And now shifting your weight to your left foot, bring your right knee up in front. See about straightening that leg out, pointing that foot, tap your toe down, raise your leg up, flex that foot, bring it to figure four. Maybe hands to the knee or the ankle. Find a wall if it works for you. And release that. Bring that right foot back. Come into high lunge. Bringing the arms up. Crescent arms up we go. Take any steps along the way that work for you. Now rotate the right heel down. We're into warrior one. And rotate to warrior two. Center. We'll do reverse warrior, palm up, reach up and back. Come forward, extend a side angle, arm down, reach over and back. Reverse warrior and back, forward back to warrior two, straighten the front leg, triangle. So first reach out, hands down. This time bring the right hand behind the waist. And see if you can redirect your view up to the ceiling. Up we go. And release that. Come up, reverse the triangle. Up we go. And back we go. One movement, step forward into Tadasana, mountain pose. Here we are. Other side, arms come up, come into chair. And up, hands together, hands to heart, come into chair. We'll shift the weight to the right foot, bringing the left knee up into one-legged chair. Straightening the leg out, going the foot, tap the toe down, raise it, bend the knee, come back to high lunge. High lunge, bringing the arms up. Crescent arms. Drop the heel down. We're into warrior one, pulling the right hip down. And now into warrior two. Make sure your knee is right over your ankle. Reverse warrior back. Come forward into extended side angle. Reach over. And back. Reverse. Forward, extended side angle, and back, straighten the front leg, triangle, reach out, down, up, bring the arm behind, reaching over, and back up, reach up, reverse triangle, reach up, and out, and we'll step forward into Tadasana, arms come up, reaching out forward, fold over. Bend the knees really deeply, hands on the mat, and come into seated position. Bring the feet out into Dandasana, staff pose. See the bottom of my feet? All right, bring the shoulders down and back. Your body's an L-shaped here. Maybe if I did an angle, it might be better. Try that, that's less offensive. Pull up tall. From the over-seated forward fold, so leaning forward, leading with the chest, over, jump, over. Allow your back to bend and drop your head, finding that opening and stretching in the back. And come up, inhaling up tall. Bring the right foot about knee height. Bring the hands behind, place the weight on the hands, fingers pointed to the back. Half reverse plank, looking up at the ceiling, opening up. And from here, drop the hips back down to the mat, reaching out. And we'll bring the right foot over the leg, so it comes onto the outside of the left thigh. Bend the left knee, bringing the heel to the hip. Try to keep both hips on the mat. We'll go half Lord of the Fishes. The left arm comes in front and the right arm comes around behind, looking over that shoulder. And as you breathe, you're lengthening the spine, deepening the twist each time. And we'll come out of that, straightening the legs up, bringing them out. We'll do that seated forward fold again, over. And inhale up. Bring the left foot about knee height, hands behind, half reverse plank, hips up. Push through that right heel, push through the left foot, open the front of the body. And hips come back down to the mat. Crossing the left foot over, bend the right knee, bringing the heel to the hip. Hips come down to the mat, pull up tall, bring the right hand here and the left hand back again. Use the breath to lengthen the spine. Do now. And back we go. Hands out. Bring the legs out, but now bend the feet. Keep your knees upward so they're not splayed out, but they're upward. You use a block here, test your ability to keep the block in. And then bring the hips up into reverse tabletop. And hips come back down. Bring the arms up, reach up tall, and twist right arm forward, left arm down. Drop the left hand down. One half reverse tabletop. Hips come up, reach behind you. Push the hips up. And back down. Use the core muscles to stabilize yourself, and then other side. Hand down and back up. Reaching out. And back we go. Block can go to the side. Here we are. We're going to hold on to our knees. First, straighten the back up as much as you can, and then curve your back and roll onto your back. Rolling on. Coming into happy baby. Bring the feet up. Hold on to the outside of the feet. Lower your tailbone down to the mat. Pull your feet in. And just a little gentle rock from side to side kind of helps in stretching the inside of the leg out a little bit. Feels good. And releasing that, bring your feet back down to the mat, and we'll end this practice in the pose which we almost started with. Bring the feet together into Supta Baddha Konasana. Here we are. Place your hands on your hip points, the front part of your hip. And now imagine your spine going down to the mat, all along its whole length from your tailbone up to the shoulders. And you're breathing in and out of this pose. Now from here, we'll stretch out long like we did before, reaching long hands in one direction, legs in the other. And then curl up into a ball, drawing your knees in, your tailbone comes off the mat, you're flexing those feet. And relax down and flow into Shavasana, extending your legs out, feet can open wide, hands to the side. If this doesn't work for you, maybe you can find another pose where you can achieve total relaxation, letting the tension from your body just go away, flowing down, keeping the breath alive and relaxed. Come back, taking a deep breath in, letting that breath out. Moving your hands, feet, head, aware of your physical being, bringing your senses inward again, being present. Bending your knees, roll to your right side, maybe cradling your head with your arm, left hand on the mat. Again, experience the breath and the energy of the breath at this point. Finding the energy, the calmness, the peace that can give you. And with care, make your way up to a seated position, pushing against the mat, cross-legged or your choice. And we'll bring our hands to the heart, closing your eyes. May you be filled with kindness. May you be safe from dangers. May you be healthy in mind and body. May you find peace and happiness. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today.